What's up, YouTube? It's your boy TPGTCG back at it again with another video. This is my first video of 2026. It's coming a little late, but I'm super excited to talk to you guys about what I've been up to. This is going to be sort of a rambly video where I just sort of talk about some things that have been going on in my life, as well as going to my first One Piece locals in about 2 years, as well as getting second place in that. I'm going to talk about that. I'll show you the deck. While I show you the deck, I'll sort of just talk about some things going on, maybe some channel updates, sort of just my thought with everything right now, as well as just how excited I am to be to have gone to a One Piece locals. So let's hop right into it. But first, before we get into today's video, we have to hop into today's video sponsor, and that is Into the AM. I got this awesome jacket from Into the AM. It was very nice. It's become my main winter jacket. It's so warm on the inside. They also make incredible quarter zips that I got, as well as graphic tees, pants, underwear, anything you could want, any sort of fashion you could want, Into the AM has. And today we have a special deal brought to you by Into the AM. You can use code TPG at checkout for 10% off, as well as to help directly support me and the channel. Into the AM has some amazing products, and you definitely should go check it out. Let's hop right back into the video. All right, guys, so on screen, you're going to be seeing my placement at the One Piece locals I went to. I got second place. Steps were blue, purple, Luffy. Round two, so that was round one. I played blue, purple, Luffy. Round two, I played yellow, Bonnie. Round three, I played against Zoro. And round four, I played against yellow, purple, Robin. So those were my matchups. Like I said, I got second place. My only loss was to the yellow Bonnie. That game was super winnable too. I didn't think I would need my Dawn, so I attached them to my Nusajura, I think his name is, the one that has Rush. And I swung over a body that was already minus 2k, or minus 4k. So it was like a 4k to 7, and I was like, I'll just make it a 9. They probably won't block with it anyways, but I'm not going to use this Dawn. And I didn't realize when I blocked with War Curry that I could draw an event card and not a character to counter with. So I blocked with War Curry, and then of course I drew an event card which needed the one Dawn active that I had spent on the Nusajuro, which would have allowed me to win that game, which was super unfortunate, but it is what it is. Making minor misplays like that, you know, I definitely didn't do that the rest of the tournament. The rest of the tournament, I was very considerate of what I could potentially get from life, as well as what I could draw with Nusajuro, with War Curry. Off of the top. So that was my loss. But it was really cool. I think the locals was I don't even know how many people it was. There was quite a few people. I was quite surprised, but it was really nice for my first time playing in about 2 years or so to get second. You know, I definitely wasn't going in expecting anything. I only went because I had nothing going on, and I had built 2 decks, just like, I still love One Piece. I watch One Piece. I have Lego One Piece behind me. But I built a deck. I built Emu, and I built Zoro too. And I just had been having an itch to play One Piece. I've been playing on Sim casually. But Pokemon VGC just takes up so much of my time. Not that that's a problem. I think it's very important that I do say, like, hey, I love Pokemon VGC. Pokemon VGC is genuinely the most fun game I've ever played, and it's what I enjoy competing in the most. I don't really make videos or anything on Pokemon VGC. I enjoy making videos about card games and talking about card games because I'm just more knowledgeable and about card games. If you want to know more about VGC and sort of like how I'm doing at VGC, you can follow my Twitter. It will be on screen. It'll also be in the description down below. It's Wyatt VGC. If you only want to see card game updates, you can follow me on TPGTCG as well on Twitter. But Wyatt VGC is where I post most of my general life things, as well as Pokemon related stuff. I also post like card game stuff on there occasionally. So like One Piece, my tournament result was on there, on Wyatt VGC, as well as I've talked a little bit about Riftbound on there as well. So if you're into any of that, just drop follows on those. But we're gonna hop into the deck profile, and then I'm just gonna sort of talk about it's an Emu deck, so I don't think people are gonna be too surprised with any of. But I do just want to talk about like updates to the channel, where I've been, what I've been up to, and stuff like that. So got Emu for our leader here. No special alt arts, just getting back into the game. So This deck I think cost me like $30. Zora was more. It was like the learn to play deck plus like $40, $30 or $40 in like extra cards. But I found out Zora Zora just gets boomed by Mihawk, which comes out this week anyways. So I'll probably just convert that to a Mihawk deck. But there's decks that I'm really excited to play in set 14. Like I'm really excited to play Doflamingo. I think the way Doflamingo plays is really cool. It reminds me a bit of like Enel from OPO3, which was a deck that I also really enjoyed. In the sense that like you get like that extra protection, which is very cool. But let's hop into the deck. So Emu, right? You gotta start with your stage out early. So the one you're choosing 99% of the time is gonna be Empty Throne. I picked Empty Throne every game yesterday. This just lets you cheat out your elders as well as giving you an extra 1,000 for some reason. And then Mari Joie is what you pick in the mirror match. I haven't had that come up. You pick it in the mirror match because you can play your guys out for a reduced cost, and then later you can play out Empty Throne after your opponents have used some of their never existeds. So yeah, we have those for our stages. For our events, we have yeah, so we have 2 Worlds Equilibrium. The reason I'm only on 2 Worlds Equilibrium is it does give you the 3k counter, which is really, really good. But out of all of the events, it's the one that I use the main effect the least, which is resting 5 Dawn to KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 6 or less. So it's 6 Dawn to remove a body, which I would rather not play ever, really. It is a really good counter, but I felt like I always had enough to counter everything anyways. When I saw this card, it felt good, but I would only ever use it for the counter. So yeah, I'm only on 2 Worlds Equilibrium. I am on 4 copies of 5 Elders at your service. I feel like this is the best turn 1 play I have, is like this, leaving 1 active and then filtering with Emu Leader, and then playing this to filter and draw some more. Not in that order. I'd probably do this and then Emu. But if I don't have this and I draw into it, then I can play it. I think the second best is Charlia, which we'll talk about later. But this one lets you like go positive, or not positive, but you filter more without negging, which is why I like this one better. We're on 4 copies of After All These Years I'm Losing My Edge. I thought this card was really sick. So basically this list was a JP list from set 14, but they didn't run this card. They ran Sables, I think it was, or Ground Death maybe. It's a new 1-cost option for Croc in set 14. And essentially I was like, okay, I like this list a lot, but I can't play it yet, so we'll play this. This card actually clutched up so much. Just having a 1k counter that would give me back like Shirahoshi's was broken, because it was just a 3k counter, which, right, it's basically the same as Equilibrium Can't Be Maintained. But oftentimes I'd find myself needing a 1k, dropping this, getting my 2k back, and then having a 2k for later, which is very, very strong. I'm definitely going to keep playing Emu in set 14. Like I said, I'm excited for Doflamingo, but that's really the only deck. Maybe Boa, but Doflamingo is probably the only deck that I'm super excited to play in set 14. I like black decks, so I'll probably build Croc too, and probably build Moria as well. But Emu just is very, very good. It feels very strong. This card I don't think I'll cut. Like I said, the JP lists were running Ground Death. I'll probably find a way to fit that in, like probably cutting Can't Be Maintained Forever, and then maybe cutting down on a copy of this or something. But getting back your 2k just feels so powerful. And then the best card in the deck, in my opinion, is Never Existed in the first place. Just a 1-cost 4k counter is insane. Resting one of your Dawn to blow up a stage is cool. It's good in the mirror. It basically wins you the mirror if you can go through their Mari Joie and their Empty Throne. Yeah, that's just really good. The main thing is in the mirror. I didn't play the mirror, but in theory the mirror would be like, I wouldn't hold these for counter. I would just blow up the stages and force them to use, I think its name's Mujigard or whatever, to grab back the Mari Joie. But I think, I don't know, I just think this card's really good. I think this card has so much utility. The best counter. It's literally what the Equilibrium Can't Be Maintained, but better. Like, it's so good. So that's it for our stages and our events. I think that's like the main difference in my list versus most people's is just like, I don't like this card that much. And we'll sort of talk about some other choices I had in here. So we have 4 copies of the good card, 5 elders, right? We all know what this does. It plays you a full board of guys. You cheat it out. Obviously, this isn't sticking on your board. Like, if you want a 10 cost 12k, you can. It's an active main effect, so like you can drop this, swing your stuff out, and then use this. Typically, if I had a body on board already, I would just swing, drop 5 elders, use its effect, win the game. 4 copies of Jupiter. So Jupiter is he's the one that makes all your 5 elders 7Ks. Additionally, though, it is a 2K counter. This is the only 5 elder that I would never play, like off of my hand. I think I played all of the rest out except Jupiter. I just don't think it's that good for like to be played. However, it is a 2K counter, so this is one that it's a 2K counter, and it's the one that makes them hit that 7K number. So it's arguably the most important one. It's just the one that I think sits in your hand the most, because typically what I would do is the turn before I would hold Jupiter in my hand like all game, and then the turn before I'm 5 eldersing, you counter out with Jupiter. Or if they're not swinging, like if they know you're holding a Jupiter and they're not gonna swing, then on your turn you just pitch it with Emu. You can 5 elders out of your hand, but you'd rather get value out of it, right? 4 copies of Mars. We're playing 4 of each of the 5 elders, and I'll talk about them in a minute. But we'll just get them all out here. Like, it is just your best card, so you do play 4 of each of them. Mars is a blocker if you have 7 or more. The other thing is they all have the effect that if you have 7 or more cards in trash, they're immune. They can't be removed from the field by your opponent's effects. Some of them gain blocker, and that's Warcry and Mars. Mars is really sick. I like it because you trash a card from your hand, KO something that's 5 or less. And that combos with Saturn. Saturn is on play, check top 5, add a 5 elders or a 5 elders card from your top to your hand, bot deck the rest. Typically, or not typically, pretty much what you always do is you when you 5 elders them, you play them out, you Saturn search, Mars pitch, pop something, so it's like a free pop because you're getting that card off of Saturn. Not free because you are pitching a card, but like you're not losing any of the hand advantage you started with, which is good. Noose Juro is it gains rush. It also, if you have 10 or more in trash, minuses 2k something for the turn, which is cool because like if you're 8 turn, you go Noose Juro, swing, or don't swing, whatever. You have Noose Juro on your board at the start of your 10 turn, you swing with it, minus 2k from something, drop your 5 elders, pop your Noose Juro, bring it back out. When it swings, you can give another minus 2k. Essentially making something minus 4. This is what I talked about where I threw the game away against the Bonnie. Is I had a boa. They had a yellow boa. It was like a 7k. It was already minus 2, so it was 5 to 7. And I was gonna swing at it anyways and minus it another 2 to make it a right. It's so it's a 7k boa, so minus 2, 5, 3, so 3 to 7. And I was like, I really don't want them to have this body, and I'm not gonna use these 2 dons, so I'll just attach it to Noose Juro and guarantee the KO. I don't think they were ever going to counter out of that anyways, but I needed to leave 1 Don open for what I draw for Warcry. Warcry has on KO draw a card. Cool thing you can do Warcry as well is it's, it's very simple. You can swing with it, play your 5 elders. It's going to blow up your Warcry to draw you a card, which is nice. We already talked about Saturn as well. So these are the 5 elders. Really, really good. I like this deck a lot. I think this deck's cool. I think it's super unique on how it functions. I feel like, I don't know. Like I said, I've been out of touch with the community for quite a while for One Piece. I'm trying to get back into it now, but I feel like this deck is one that people would want nerfed, but I don't really know how you nerf it. It also doesn't feel that unfair. Like you have a 4-life leader. Aggro feels pretty bad to play against. Like Zoro, I definitely should have lost to if I wasn't holding. I think I had all 4 of my never existeds, and like that's the only way I won that matchup. I was told I was favored in that matchup. It didn't feel very favored. Could have been playing poorly on my end or on their end, but At the end of the day, I think like this deck, if you get to your 10 Dawn turn and you don't have enough gas to get through that turn, I like against the Robin, I was unable to 10 Dawn on my first turn because they had like a Magellan event card that put a Dawn back, so I was down one. Luckily, I had guarded a lot early in that game, so I didn't feel pressured to need that 10 Dawn turn. However, I could definitely see in matchups where I'm pressured a lot early that I just don't have enough gas in the tank in the late game if they survive my 5 Elders turn to actually win. Because that requires me to hold a second 5 Elders in hand, and that card has no shield value. It's just, I feel like having the 1 is typically what I want, and if I can't win on that 1, if I'm ahead, I'm holding a second. But if I'm not ahead, if it's a very close game, I feel like I'm not holding a second one. I'd rather have cards that do things when I search than that card. Onto the rest of the deck, the low end, we're on 2 Mioge's Guard. So this lets you grab back your Marie-Joie from the trash. So this is good in the mirror because essentially you have 4 stages with this card, which means they can only blow it up. They would have to use all 4 of their Never Existence to blow up all your stages you get throughout the game. I have seen lists on 3 of this to guarantee that they like can't do that. However, I feel like in the mirror, I'm not gonna use every single Never Existed to blow up the stage. You know what I mean? Like I think I feel like I'd rather have the 4K counter. I mean, not like obviously if Emu loses the stage, the deck is terrible, but I think I would definitely want to hold my Never Existence 4 counter as well. So I see the argument for 3, but personally I think 2 is fine. I haven't played the mirror, like I said, that was my first local, so we'll see. I might up this to 4 or 3 in the future. I think with 14 coming around, I don't think I'll see as many emus. Like last night, I think there was 3 people playing it, and I didn't play. I got close. I think we were sitting next to each other almost every round, but we never actually played each other. So I think maybe we'll go up to 3 if like people are still playing that in 14. I know in 14 though, like it becomes less of a triangle format, and we have like quite a few tier 1 or 1.5 decks. So I definitely see Emu falling off a little because it's not a new shiny toy. I think it's still probably one of the best decks, but you know, I'm also a little biased. For Charlia, so Charlia is what I say is like the second best turn 1 play. If you don't have 5 Elders, you can go Charlia, check top 3, grab a Celestial, pitch a card, and then you pitch the rest too. So Charlia is a neg, because you are pitching a card from hand, but you are getting a body out of it. It's a 0 body, but there were games against Yellow Bonnie actually. I had to remove an Onami because I didn't want them to just keep making it a 5K and swinging at me. So I would actually attach it on to Charlotte to swing at the Onami, because the Yellow Bonnie was able to attach Dawn to that Onami so that it could hit my leader. But I was like, okay, well, this is annoying, so let's just go Charlotte or remove it. So that was cool. But I think that's literally the only time I use Charlotte. Next, last card in the deck is just for Shirahoshi. So Shirahoshi is good. It lets you cycle your cards back. I literally never used that effect. I never felt like I had to. I understand in the mirror match this is probably insane because I felt like I was getting close to decking out every time, but I won still. Like I said, this deck, or I didn't say it, but this deck really wants you to have 20 or more cards in trash at almost all times. So that way your Emu is getting max value. And this lets you cycle some cards back if you need to, so that's why it's good in the mirror. You can also grab it back off of the event card all these years, so that's pretty cool. It's also a 2K counter, which is great. So that's the deck. Like I said, I got second at my first One Piece locals in like 2 years. The last time I played was, it's gonna sound vague, but the last time I played would have been around the time the Three Brothers deck came out. I had built black yellow Luffy, played like 1 game with it, and then I just went back to playing Rob Lucci. I don't know what set was out at the time, but I had gone to like maybe 1 or 2 tournaments. I think the last time I played seriously was probably around set 6 or 5. It would have been Gen Con 2023 or 2024. I would have been playing Zoro, and I got top 32 at that event. That would have been the last time I think I like played seriously. at a major. The last time I played a local would have been with probably Black Yellow Luffy or Rob Lucci. Those are the two decks I was playing at the time, and I don't remember which one I exactly was playing on my last locals. But right around, it would have been around August or July 2024, because August is when I played in my first Pokemon event, which was, or maybe it was September. So my last One Piece locals would have been July or August, because my first Pokemon regionals was Baltimore 2024, which I can't remember was in August or September, one of those two. And then after that, I pretty much stopped playing card games for the most part. This video's just kind of been long and rambly. It was a deck profile for Emu, as well as just talking about my experience at locals. It was a great time. I enjoyed it, met a lot of awesome people, which was just super sick. And then I just sort of want to talk a little bit about the channel. So I've sort of been in this weird spot with the channel for a while, since honestly, since I stopped making Digimon content, because Digimon was the one game that I felt like I consistently made content on, and I consistently got a good viewership for. I did a little bit of Vanguard, a little bit of One Piece, both games that I enjoy. And then I've been doing Riftbound now, which again, I've been doing fairly good views on, and I've been enjoying. But there's been a sort of gap, and I don't really know how to talk about this. So I've just been in school, and I recently just lost my great-grandmother, who was just an extraordinary person. And it's been really hard on me. So that's why there hasn't been videos in a while since the Riftbound stuff that I was doing. But after that, I sort of have been in a lull, and I'm trying to get back into the swing of things now. It's been almost a month at the time of recording this. And yeah, so I'm just trying to sort of find my footing. I'm not trying to take forever, but it's hard to talk about. So, and I didn't really have a script or anything, just sort of off the dome here. I haven't been playing Riftbound, and I had a lot of extras. I was able to build every deck from set 1, and I still had a lot of extras, so I sold a bunch of those. And Riftbound has been out now for almost 2 months. I'm looking at the calendar, almost 2 months, and I've been to 1 locals. I got second at that locals. I played Ari. It was really fun. I did my video with my good friend Max, which was super fun. It was great talking to him. But Riftbound itself has sort of been weird. I don't plan on getting rid of my Riftbound stuff. I literally have like deck boards that I want to make videos on it behind me over there. But I just haven't felt like it, because I think making videos on Riftbound on like Riftbound decks right now is really weird, because nobody can fucking get them. It's really frustrating, and I just think a big problem with Riftbound is how boxes are done and how cases are done. I talked about this, I think, in my last video, actually. I talked about how hard it is to get playsets of things in Riftbound. And I do not think cards should be dirt cheap. I think there should be cards that carry the value of sealed product for vendors and LGSs. I think boxes, I think they retail for 120 as MSRP. But I don't agree with there being like 40 epics, and in a case you get like 43, right? So you're gonna get one of each and then like a couple extras. It just makes it very hard for everybody to deck build. Again, if you're not building every deck like I am, I'd say I'm like somewhere between a collector and a competitor. Like, I like to have every deck able to be played, so if I want to make a video on it or I want to go compete in a high level event, I have the cards to do so, and I don't need to buy them or wait. I can just start my testing right away. And I don't think, I think there should be cards that are valued, right? Like Time Warp, Kaisa, like pick 4 or 5 cards, make them your top end, make them $30 plus cards. But if a base ready card's $100, I sold my Kaisa epics to a local I knew I wasn't gonna make a video on that deck because everyone's played it, everyone can look at the deck. It's not one that people are gonna want to watch a video on unless I've won a major with it. So I was like, whatever. Annie's a fun deck. I have my Kai'Sa in there, so I don't need these two that were in my Kai'Sa deck. So I sold them, and I was like, wow, they're $100 each for the base rarity. Okay. And then I realized, you know, time warps are like $100. Dead blooms are $100. I'm like, what is going on? And that sort of killed it for me. Locals, I haven't gone and played, but I've gone and hung out. They've been at the same time as like some Pokemon events. I've talked to the people, they've talked to me. And it's just been sort of weird because, like I said, the game's been out for about 2 months, and it seems like if you didn't have your deck built in the first week, you still don't have it built today. And that's not the fault. Like, obviously the players like, oh, well, you know, you've had like 2 months to get paychecks to like buy the cards. Like, yeah, that's true. But additionally, the cards prices have also gone so high since the release of the game, which is good. Demand's there. The game is really, really fun. It's one of the best card games I think I've ever played. It's just for now, I think the audience is sort of stagnant, and it's very hard to grow a Riftbound community and audience when they can't get cards to play. I think getting into One Piece again was at a bad time. I heard that the Pokebros, the Pokemon scalpers, are coming to One Piece now, and it's gonna affect that. Again, I think they're probably just gonna be hunting alt art, so it won't be that hard to get base ready cards. But we already have some expensive base ready cards in One Piece that I think, you know, if the scalpers notice that, they're like, oh, let's do a buyout of like Kuma secret rare, right? Let's buy that out and make that $100 secret rare. That's a staple. That could be a very big problem. Whereas Pokemon, you know, your base rarity card, I think like the most expensive I've seen a base rarity card in Pokemon was like when Obsidian Flames Charizard came out. I think that card was $20, but it came out and it was the best deck, and it also had like 3 or 4 reprints within the first, I want to say, couple weeks of it being out. It had like a tin, it had a box set, all with different artworks. It also, in the booster set itself, had like 3 different artworks. So the price just went down and went downward. And then it got like a League Battle deck pretty quickly after that too. So it ended up being like, I think now the card's like probably a couple bucks. But I think that is a fear I have with One Piece, is that the Pokebros are going to get there, and then right now we see them buying a lot of the high rarity stuff, which is whatever. Let people get their money, let people make their money, whatever. I don't care. I mean, I personally either collect high rarity or I buy it to flip to, right? Which is like whatever. It's just make a quick buck. However, I think like the level that these people are doing it is insane. And I worry that they're going to see these base ready secret rares in One Piece and be like, oh, let's buy all these Kumas. That's not here. I was talking about Riftbound. Point is, I still love Riftbound. I'll probably still make content on it, but it won't be until I see a change in the way Riftbound product is being done, or how much product is being pushed. I think if a lot of product is being pushed and a lot of product is being open for Riftbound, that'll essentially solve its own problem, meaning that all the base ready cards should have enough in circulation that everybody can get them at a reasonable price. Right now, I don't think that's the case. I think the product is so limited, and that the people who are opening it are tending to just hoard it because it's the best cards, which is a problem. However, we do see that they're going to be using their tournament packs for good. And their next tournament pack, they're reprinting like the Proving Grounds stuff, which is going to be good, because not only does that allow people to get them in a higher rarity, they're going to be foil versions of them, but it does allow people to get the cards easier. I think it's crazy that they didn't reprint all of the Proving Ground staples, but I'm sure they will come. Like Flash isn't in the tournament pack, which is the most expensive card from Proving Grounds right now. But yeah, this video has been long. So thank you guys so much for watching. Sort of just a general channel update. Thank you to the AM for sponsoring this video. Appreciate it. And yeah, if you guys want to see more content, let me know down below. Let me know what you want to see. If you want to see Riftbound, One Piece, Digimon, even Pokemon TCG, Vanguard, I can do content on all those. I also am probably going to start doing like mixed content on this channel. I think something that's really cool that I have the opportunity to do is I'm in flight school, and I think a really cool thing is like recording daily vlogs. Like yesterday would have been an awesome day to record a daily vlog style video, because in the morning I got up, did my morning routine, And then I went to school, flew a plane, came home, studied, and then played some Pokemon for a little bit on Showdown to get my team ready for the Grand Challenge the Global Grand Challenge this weekend. And then afterwards, I went to a One Piece Locals, and I think that would have been a very cool vlog. And if on days like that, I think could be really fun to make vlog style content. So let me know if that's something you'd be interested in, because I think that's something that I'm really interested in. I also really enjoy Legos. I started getting back into collecting those. So I think overall vlog style content probably will come back. Not come back, but start, and there'll be a little more variety between card games, my schooling stuff, maybe some Legos, Pokemon probably a little bit, but I think I plan on doing other stuff on that on my other channel that I have just in case. It's Wyatt VGC. There's a link in the description down below. In that channel, there's a couple videos, but it's Pokemon related, Pokemon VGC related, and I'll probably keep that to strictly that. But TPG TCG has always just sort of been a channel where I do card games, and I have always tried to nail myself to one card game, but I think the beauty of the modern age of TCGs is you don't have to do that. I think the modern age of TCGs is so many people love so many different TCGs that being a part of multiple communities is actually incredible. So yeah, I think that's sort of the future of the channel, and appreciate you guys sticking around. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you want me to do in the future, what sort of content you guys want to see. And you know, I don't know how frequently I'm gonna be uploading. My goal was to be uploading 2 to 3 times a week. But you know, sort of about the things we've talked about in this video with Riftbound and One Piece, as well as my personal life. I just don't know how likely that is, so I don't want to commit to something and then not be able to follow through with that. But I do really enjoy making content when I have the time to, so you know, just stick around for those videos when they come out, okay?